Hi, hello everyone. Thank you so much for your support. I'm really happy to see your all comments. Thanks a lot. Today we're going to discuss about materials and material functions, which is really important for making environments, especially. And this course is a bit longer because I can't skip any one of the part. Everything is really important. And mainly, you will learn a lot of things from this course, I hope. Before starting the course, I just want to mention some few people's I have referred a lot of resources online, such as video tutorials, training courses, and all the things. The first thing I want to mention this Thomas Hall. So I purchased this course in Udemy, which is really nice. It helped me in a lot of ways. So this guy, he has done some other course. This is not a promotional video because I just wanted to mention this guy. I learned something from this guy. The other one is render bucket, and they have made this crystallized gemstones material. This has also helped me to make a frozen lake in my course, in my tutorial. You might see this. And other than that, since I am a authorized instructor, Unreal authorized instructor, I got a lot of resources from Epic Games. They have provided a lot of training resources and all the things that helped me a lot. And once again, thank you so much, guys. Let's get started. Today we're going to discuss how to blend textures as assets and ground. So first I'm going to create a new material. Let's open up. Now we'll discuss how the blend works. Then later on we will move on to advanced version of blending the textures using material functions. First I'm going to drop a asset. You go to Megascan 3D assets. I have already downloaded this asset 3. You can see this, and I have the material also. Surface mossy ground, which is really nice. I'm going to drop that directly into this, and you can take a look at this. It's really nice, but the problem is the asset and the ground, it does not blending smoothly, and that looks very weird. We have to blend these two textures according to the height of this asset. For example, if I move, sink inside, if I reposition that, it has to always blend with the ground. Okay, so first, how I'm going to make it, I'm going to use this grass texture and asset texture, sorry, asset texture. We're going to blend it first according to the height. So first I'm going to bring this all the textures inside material. Take this into color, normal. I want to explain this. Actually, if I double click on this texture, this is packed of 3 channels, which is ambient occlusion. Red is the ambient occlusion. You can see here. The green is roughness. The blue is height or displacement. You can see the name itself, it's showing this ORDP. So O stands for occlusion, roughness, and displacement. So let's take this green into roughness, the red into ambient occlusion. We don't have any options to make displacement and height. We have the option actually, but we'll discuss later on. So blend, ground blend, I'm going to convert that. Right click material instant. Always I like to use material instance because I can control the parameters. So I'm going to apply both for ground and for the asset. So both I have applied. So I want to blend this asset. So I want to find this texture actually. Control B. Now you can see there is a Texas. Control B will browse the asset in content drawer, content browser. So we're going to drop this all the textures inside the material. Now I just keep this. So later on we are going to blend this also. Okay. So for the basic blending, we used to use linear interpolation, which have a very simple inputs that can be blended, which is A and B and alpha. Let's take this RGB DA, this texture into B, take this output into. Now, if I enable this plane so that I can see the material right now, it is blending this both texture with 50 percentage right now. If I make this 0, you can able to see the A input, which is grass. If I make this alpha 1, and this is showing the B, which is the asset, you just imagine the alpha is made up of black and white, which means 1 is white, 0 is a black. Always think about this. 0 is a black, 1 is 0.5 is a gray. Just like that. So instead of giving the inputs for the alpha, I can use textures as well that we'll discuss later on. Or else I can use the real world units, which is the height information. You can see this is a Z axis, the blue axis is the Z. That is the height. I have to calculate the height. According to the height, this ground and the asset should be blended. Okay, for that, I'm going to use a node called world position offsets. If I right click, type world, and you get this world position. Now you notice this is having 3 different outputs, which is X, Y, Z, and X, Y, Z. So that gets the X, Y, Z coordinate and X, Y. So we consider this X, Y is it a triplanar projection. If you are applying this to the textures, which will be considered as a triplanar. XY is a 2D projection. The Z is a top-down projection. So let's take this Z into the alpha immediately, and you notice that the textures are blending, but the problem we have, this is going beyond the limit, which means it's going more than 1, because the Unreal units are calculated by centimeters. If I move this 215, okay, which cannot take that value in the alpha, because the alpha consider only 0 to 1. So we are getting this too bright and negative. You see this negative color, and this is too contrast and saturation. To clamp these values to 0 to 1, you can use clamp, you can use saturate, you can use clamp mode also. We can specify the value of 0 to 1 in clamp. We go to clamp, and you can see here we can set the minimum value and maximum value so that you can restrict the value. You can customize it, but for this I'm going to use the saturate. Now you can able to see this looks pretty good, and you notice that the blend is happening exactly in the origin position, and the bottom is a grass and this thing. So let's save this and take a look at this. If I move this down, you don't see anything here. Now if I hide this floor, H for hidden, or right click, go to visibility, I can able to hide selected. The shortcut is the H. Now we can able to see the grass is blended on the position of 0. If I move this asset, you can see that the blend position will be stayed on that same position, which is really nice. but I want to offset the position up or down because I wanted to adjust it. I need a control for that. So to do that, I'm going to use add, hold A and left click. Now I can able to take this Z into A, take this output into saturation. We are bypassing this, the value through this. And the B, we are going to make a parameter. Give this height. Just simply make it the name height. Okay, we can check it out. Save this. And you want to see, okay, I will open up the material instance, select this asset, just double click. Now we can have this, we have this option height. Now I can reduce it to increase the height, giving a minus value. If I increase, I can able to move this downward. This is nice. Suppose you want to have a positive value on this height. Right now this going minus. You can invert this. If you want to invert inside material, you can use 1 minus. You can type 1 minus or hold O and left click. You can able to create this 1 minus. Anything if you give input that will reverse, that gives a negative value. So that's a very simple. This is optional. If you want, you can create, or else you can leave it, no problem. You can see now I have this positive value. I can move. If I right click, go to visibility, so all actors, so that I can see now this thing. If I move this, you see the position of the grass, it's always stick with that position. You can able to adjust that if you want. You can completely, it's nice. Now the problem is that I wanted to blend this. It is looks very sharp, so that I have to make this smoother. So I'm going to use divide. Always keep in mind when you wanted to make the textures a little bit smoother, most of the time I will use divide node for making nice and smooth version of the texture. So divide, create a divide and connect and bypass this and right click, promote parameter, we'll give a name height smooth. Okay, just leave this, save this. Now you see here I have this parameter with this. Now I can enable this height and increase it. Now you can see that it's nicely blending. I can adjust the height. You see this is affecting the ground because we are using the same material and asset as well. Now that's really nice, and I can reduce this smooth. Okay, if you want, you can use separate texture, sorry, separate material instance for this ground. But for this now, I'm going to leave it because I just want to show you this, how it is working. Okay, and increase this height, increase smooth. You can see that. That's nice. So, but you notice this normal, it is not the asset normal. This is, we have connected this directly, this texture sample, which is grass actually. This is the asset normal. So we have to blend the same way how we made this, right? So I'm going to select this all in Q. Q is for straighten the nodes. I can right click, go to the alignment. There is a different type of alignment you can able to make it. Okay, straighten connection is a Q. So then I'm going to use this same linear interpolation for the normal for the ORDP. If I duplicate this, or you can use a linear interpolation. Take this and connect this into B. The alpha should be the output from the saturation, because that's the final result we can connect it. Now you notice these connections looks too much, looking good, but you can see now we have the normals for the asset. Okay, I have to do the same thing for this, but I just want to give a little bit of idea how to simplify this network. I'm going to disconnect this. Okay, so just keep it here. I'm going to give a comment C. This alpha. I can give a color. I can make dark color or bright gray if I want. Just good. Now I'm going to use named reroute declaration mode and type alpha. Give a name alpha, so that this whole information will be stored inside this name reroute. This reroute node I can use directly here by right clicking. Go to name reroute, and you can choose this alpha and connect this. I can right click. I can use multiple times. Okay, I can duplicate this, Control D, and use the screen to be, and I can right click here itself. I can right click, I can connect into the roughness, or else the whole roughness itself I can click and drag it. I can type named array route, rough. I can store the information by this. Even for the normal also you can do the same thing. Yeah, I'm going to duplicate. Just keep this here. Disconnect this. Just wanted to make this simplify. Okay, this is named readout. So now I can come over here. I can choose normal, connect it. And roughness, I can right click, because we have already created this roughness, and I can create another one for for the ambient occlusion, named readout. Now you can see this, how this is useful. It makes things clear and neat so that you can easily understand how the things are happening. You can convert this, but I'm not going to use this material. You can see this become a little bit more complicated, looks very complicated. So this is looking good, but the problem is, if I want to reuse this for some other asset, maybe I'm going to bring some other asset. The first problem is the tiling between the ground and this is not right, because this asset placing the texture according to the UV of this asset, UV layout, and this placement of this texture, it's according to this floor UV layout. Okay, so this looks smaller and this looks very bigger, so we have to match it. If you notice this leaf, if I move this, it's moving along with this because it is attached to the UV, which is not right. That means you can see this leaf as having a cut, which means both are different asset and UV position. That's the reason we are not able to blend it properly. But we have, that is the one problem. The second problem is if I want to use this for some other asset, uh, some other 3D asset. I drop something, probably this. That looks very small. Now what is this? Just leave that. Let's drop this. Let's see here. See this? And for this asset, I want to use the same setup. I have to create again different material to make the blend. So that's a time consuming process that's not needed. So for that reason, I have to maintain the UV position size of the texture. At the same time, I want to make a nice blend between the assets and the ground. And that can be reusable for any other assets easily. That's the important thing. So we need to speed up the process of creating this environment. Okay, so for that, we are going to create material function. Material functions are very, very powerful and that can be reusable. Let's get started. Now I'm going to create a material function. Just go to this folder, right click, create a new folder. I'm going to call this MF, this material function. So right click, go to material. I'm going to create a material function for the grass. Okay, first I'm going to create a material function for ground grass blend. Okay, giving the name like this, underscore blend. Okay, so let's open up this. And when you open up this material function, and you can see you have this one output result. What we need to do, we're going to recreate this grass inside the material function. So I can use this textures directly here, or I'm going to import the texture from Megascan surfaces. I can find out this mossy ground. I'm going to import this all three textures, drop it inside the material function. If I can directly create make material attribute, right click and type make material attribute, and you notice this material have all the inputs available, all the inputs. You can able to make the connections directly. I can take this roughness and this goes to amine occlusion. This material we have to connect into the output result. So now we're getting this output. That's it. Now the thing is we have created it, but we wanted to make UV projection. Actually we have to maintain the size of this texture, right? So here I'm not going to use this one. Actually I can delete this, or else I can create a new material underscore m underscore blend, call it a material function blend. Okay, let's open up this. Now using this material function, I can directly drop into the material which I have created. Now just left click and drag and drop. Now you can see that comes with this mf underscore grass blend, which I gave the name, and you see the result which is from this result, which is giving the output. You can make even inputs if you want, but does not have any inputs now. So now we have the output. But if you wanted to connect this, you can't able to connect because this material function contains all the data of roughness, normal, albedo, and all the things, right? So I have to select this material and change use material attribute, enable that so that all the data can be connected into this material. So this will recognize all the data. So save this. Now we're going to create material instance. I'm going to apply. We get the same thing. If I apply this, okay. Now I have to adjust the tiling of this. Okay, tiling is just not right. Before that, I'm going to create one more for this asset. Okay, Control B, which will locate the things. But we have to create a material function for the assets. So right click. Before that, I have to go to material function, mf underscore asset. I give just asset blend. Okay. So I just want to make this name unique. So that's the reason I'm giving this name. So again, let's go back to the assets. Control B. I'll bring this all and drop into this. Now I'm going to create a make material attribute. Let's make a connection. Roughness, ambient occlusion. Yeah. And take this output. Save it. Now we're going to blend this. And when you go to the, I will close this all other things. If necessary, I can put this. Otherwise it will confuse. Okay. Go back to this material function, which we created this asset blend. Just drop this. Now we have two materials which contains all the connection of normals, albedo, and roughness, right? We wanted to blend this. We cannot use a linear interpolation now because it's not going to get these inputs because it takes only the certain values. We can add to blend the materials, but instead we can use blend material attributes. We can type blend material attribute, which have the same option like linear interpolation, which is really nice. So I'll take this, connect to A. I can blend two materials using this blend material attribute. The blend value is going to be the alpha. Now we can use the same thing we have already created in this material. You remember? Okay, so I'm going to open up this. You see here, I can copy this. I don't have to create this again for this material. I can paste it here. It's already rerouted, which is really nice. This alpha, you can right click and go to the named reroute. Whatever available named reroute will be available on the right click. See here, it's so simple without having too much of connections. And this also going to work very, very well. So let's open up this instance, which we have already connected. You see this is available, right? So I'm going to increase the asset height. Now you notice this, we have the blend. We're going to adjust the smoothness. It's nice. We have the same effect now. Okay, but we need to maintain the tiling because we are using the same material. The tiling is same. You see this, if I move, tiling is same, but the projection is not happening the same way we are having this issue. This is not happening in the proper way. Tiling is big on this, sorry. So instead of in the grass blend, this material function, I'm going to open up this material, this grass, we have to maintain the tiling of the grass. So that's why I'm opening this grass. Instead of directly connecting this, we are going to project the texture according to the world position, actually, I should say. So let's disconnect this, all the things. We're going to reconnect this in a different method. And first time when you create this material function, it looks very complicated, but this can be reusable. So you have to spend the time to create the first material function. After that, it's very easy. So we are going to use for projection world aligned texture. World aligned texture is available here. Now you can see this is a material function again. So we can able to create input of texture 2D, which is texture object, and we can get the output of projection, different type of projection. You can take Z projection, XYZ. Okay, so if I try to connect this, you can't connect this first of all, because you can able to give only texture objects. If you see this in T2D, that is, you have to convert this, right click, convert to texture object, and you notice this for the texture sample, you can get able to give this UV inputs, but when you convert this into this, you can't give the input. Keep in mind, you cannot use a tiling, but here you have this tiling. You can able to connect this. Just nice. Then we have to decide the scale of this texture, which you can give a simple scalar parameter. Okay, you can directly right click and promote this into parameter and adjust the say. Right click and promote the parameter. Oops, that takes a vector 3, but I'm going to use scalar parameter. You can hold yes and left click. Then you can give this name UV. I can just a little bit give about 400 or 200. Take this and connect into the that. Okay, then we can take this. I want to take XYZ because it is, I don't want to stretch when I project from Z or XY, you get stretch. So I'm going to use this XYZ. So I'm going to use named reroute and call it color. Okay, that means I can right click, get this color in this here, and I can click this. It's very simple, you know. So I can keep it anywhere in the, keep this in the scene. We're going to use the same thing for this too also. Okay, so Control D on that. I'm going to convert to texture object. Connect this. Control D. Convert to texture object. And here is the thing, actually I want to, this is a normal, so I have to name readout normal. I can right click, this one we need to take, we already discussed this, having 3 channels, right? Ambient occlusion, height, and roughness, right? So it gives only one output. I have to split them into 3 channels so that I can connect to roughness, ambient occlusion, and height. To do this, you can break outflow three components. We'll split this channels into three, and now you see this red, green, blue. We know the red is named readout declaration. I'm going to call this AO, ambient occlusion. The green named rough, and the blue height. Okay, so you can see this. Again, right click alignment, right alignment. I can even align vertical, distribute vertically. Get the equal gaps between the nodes, but it's optional. So right click, go to connect that roughness. Here you go. Okay. This height we will use later. We can use for the displacement. We can use the information. Anyway, that's a black and white information that you can use it for the different purpose. We will discuss about that. So now this is organized and clean and neat. Okay, so now you can see the tiling will be matched. Look at this. We don't have any seams. It's nicely blended. Now if I move this, take a look at this, the blend is here. If I move this and you see this, it's projected. It is not placed actually, it's projected so that the blend will be proper and clean. And we have the option to control the tiling of this. So I can select and double click, open. Then we have the UV, which we have created. Okay, for this UV also you can able to create a reroute and do this. It's okay. I'm going to enable that. I can reduce the size, make a smaller size. If I increase it, it makes a bigger size. So just choose how much you want. You can right click and play and check out the size. If you want to reduce, you can able to reduce the size and change it. It does not have the collision. Yay, it can go. Okay, now we have blended it. Now the thing is, I want to reuse this material function to this. Okay, it's very simple. This asset material function, we are using this, right? The same sorry, same way I can use the reroutes and I can organize this, but I'm not going to do that much. We don't want UV, we don't want to project, just we need a very simple asset, but I'm going to convert them into parameters. Say right click so that I can replace the texture. So right click, convert to parameter. I am going to give asset texture. I can convert to parameter, asset normal, convert to parameter. I call it ORDP. Okay, you can give any name if you want. Then I'm going to select this all the parameters textures. I want to put this into the group, which means, if I save this and you can get this all the texture which just comes into the global parameters values, right? To organize this, I can go to the asset and select all the parameters and give a group name, put in the group textures. Okay, so everything will be inside the textures. If I save this, Again, open up that, and you see this is comes under the Texas folder. So it's nice. So the next problem we are having is this order of this Texas is not right. What I want to keep this color texture on the top, next normal, next. To do that, you can able to adjust the sort order, which is if you select the parameters and you see the sort priority, just default is 32, which means automatically it will list out with the alphabetical order. Okay, next I'm going to select this. I'm going to give 1. This I'm going to give 2. This I'm going to give 3. So that this will be, you can see now if I save this, you can see the order will be replaced again. Save it. Now you see this texture, normal, and this. So a little bit of organizing is really important. You can enable that, and you can replace the textures now. You can able to replace this. That means first, what do you have to do? This original texture, the master material, which is this, right? I can duplicate this, or you can create a new material instance from this, but I'm going to duplicate that and apply this to this. You see the blend is happening, but the texture is different because the texture is applied. So open up this, double click. I can give a name if I would have renamed this actually. Go to oops, that's not the one, sorry. That is not the one actually. MF, sorry, here it is. Duplicate, apply that, double click to open. Now we can see this, all the 3 textures can be able to replace them. So Control B. Now we have this texture for this asset. Just want to replace this to color. I get this normal and this. Beautiful. You can see here how nicely, even you can position, reposition, can move up, down, whatever. It's nicely blends, and you can able to change the blend height and all this thing, right? So very fast you can able to mix and replace the textures. You can drop some other assets and find out this one, for example, this one. Okay, for example, I want to blend this. So I can select this. I want to search. So this will locate the position of that, and I can duplicate this, apply this, and select this and double click. Open that. I can replace this texture. Selecting this, Control B, just like this. Now we have duplicated, right? So we have the separate control, so I can adjust the height. I think I did a mistake. I think, yeah. You want to reduce the smooth? Yeah, correct. Can reduce size, and I can control this separately. Notice this, how nicely it is blending with this ground, right? So I can easily set up this. I can duplicate that, and I can rotate this. Okay, scale. This one also I'm going to duplicate this. Now we are going to make one more little bit advanced. Suppose Right now we are using a ground grass. Okay, the grass sometimes I want to fill on the top of this rocks. Means wherever in the top I want to create a grass only on the top, and it should not happen. The blend should not happen on this side. Now we're going to blend according to the normal direction. So there is a node. We can use world aligned blend. We know already we have used this world aligned texture, but here we're going to use world aligned blend. So I'm going to connect explicit normal to alpha. So this will bypass this to the alpha, right? So we have disconnected this. First we'll check out how this is going to work out. So I'm going to create a parameter. So right click, promote to parameter. I'm going to leave the name as it is. So right click, promote to parameter. Okay, we have created this. So I'm going to save this. Once we save this, this parameters will be available. Now you can see this, all the texts got filled with grass because we have disconnected the alpha. Now we have this two options. You can can able to reduce this, can increase this. So mostly the blend bias I used to give minus value, the sharpness going to give positive value. Now you can see here the blend is happening. This is a common for all the assets, you know that. But the problem is this is happening in the opposite direction. The grass supposed to be on the top. Okay, so this is not happening in the right direction, but you can able to invert this alpha by going this. Instead of directly connecting this, I'm going to give 1 minus, hold O, left click. Now if I save this, now we can see the grass filled on the top of this. This is depending upon the value we're going to give on this. If you give less values, you get a more smooth blend will happen on the top. You can see the smoothness. Okay, if I increase this values, you get more sharp blend. Okay, but still it doesn't look more natural, but it is happening, right? To make this more interesting, more accurate, this blend should happen according to the normal direction of the surface. At the same time, it has to blend according to the normal of the material itself. That means if I use this material normal, and if I connect into the explicit normal, which means this explicit normal will override the texture I'm going to give here. So for example, Control B, and you have the normal map here. So this normal map I'm going to use and drop it here. Let's keep this. And I take this RGB into explicit normal. Now I can save this. Now we can see the blend is happening according to the normal, which is really nice. And you see this? Nice. Now we want to use both height blends. Now we have removed the height blend, right? So we have to use this both. We want to use both. Before the alpha, I'm going to use multiply so that I can connect both and take the output into the. Now we will have the both See the bottom, which is, we have this blend is happening. The top also, we have this, the grass is on the top. Just really nice. You can see this asset is completely blended with this environment, which is nice. But the problem is this normal works only for this asset, but it is not working for this one. This one is different. So this one is different and this one is different. Each asset is a different, having a different normal maps, right? So instead of using this texture sample, I'm going to convert this into parameter. So right click, convert to parameter, just give a name, blend normal. And I'm going to give one more control, this intensity, how much this normal is going to influence on the surface. I want to control that. So for that, I'm going to use normal strength. So if I right click, right, normal strength, WS, which is a workspace, and it's a function actually. I'll take this into connect. Now you see this, we are getting this error because we have to give input for the strength. Little bit organize this. So right click on the strength, promote to parameter, you're going to give the name, blend normal strength. Okay, right now it's 0, let's keep 1. Let's save this. Now we will have the normal strength here. I can adjust. You see this, I can able to control this normal strength, so how this is going to blend on the surface. Right, good. Now we have the blend normal, which is on the separate. You can enable this. If I'm using this asset, I have to use this normal as a normal. Suppose if I'm using this one, I'm going to open this material instance because we have a separate material instance for this asset. Select this and double click on this instance. Open this. Now we have separate blend bias and blend strength and all the things, and we have the blend normal. So first I'm going to enable this blend normal. Control B, so I can find out this normal map. Just I want to connect into this also. Then we're going to adjust this minus value, and this is plus value. I think now I can see here. So the grass is on the top of this asset, and that's blending according to the normal strength. You can see here, if I reduce and increase, this is influencing, this texture is influencing the surface, which is nice. So when you are using this normal, so I can easily replace the textures. I can easily set up this, enable, control B, define out this normal map and drop into this. Then you can enable this all, increase this. Let's take a look at this, which is very nice. Okay, cool. Now you see this is completely blended according to the surface normal as well as the height we have blended. Now what is the use of this? Actually, we can able to change the environment, like desert I want to make, or I want to make it like this snow environment, snowing environment. So that will become very easy. Now we are going to create snow. It is very easy. We have already created the material function for the grass, right? If we go to the material function, we have already grass. I'm going to duplicate this, Control D. I don't have to create this whole network again, but I can Control D, and I'm going to give a name snow. Okay, snow blend. Double click to open. All I need to do is I have to replace this textures with snow. That's all. I have already go to window, content browser. Let's open up the content browser. So you get the separate one. So you can go to the surface, switch off the static mesh. Now I have downloaded the asset from Pixel Bridge, which is press WinZip snow. So you can open up that. I'm going to replace this texture with the color. Select this albedo and replace the texture. Now I can see this is replaced. Select the normal. This is normal, and select this. Replace it. Then you get the normal. Go to select this and select, replace it, and save it. That's it. We have created for snow. Now, if we want to replace this grass with the snow, it's very simple. Go to the master material. Here is the grass, right? You can select the grass. You can search here, MF underscore ground underscore no ground underscore snow, and here we go. That's all. You can save this. Now look at this. Very simple and easy. You can set up different environment. You can look at this. So I can change the tiling of this snow. You can open the snow and you can change it. Now you can see here. The same way we can create another material function for the desert. I can able to make this. Now I can go to this and open the plant. I'm going to make a little bit of changes. First, I'm going to switch off this. Almost, I want to reduce this to 0. So, almost, I want to have very less. I can adjust the blend bias. So, I have all the control. Okay. If you want to make more thick, you have to increase the value like this. Okay. So, now we're going to make some settings. Control L, change the light. You can see here. Then I can go to the exponential height fog 0.5. I don't want this volumetric load. And, okay, leave it. Then I can go to the sky atmosphere, increase the absorption scale. Now you can see looks. I can increase the scattering scale. If you increase this, actually it gives something like a cloudy environment, something like it's going to rain or snowfall or something. But if I reduce it, you get more bluish tint. That's what we want. And if I move this light a little bit down, if I adjust this ray light scattering scale, if I increase it, get this something orange or bluish environment. And you can play around those values. You can increase this distribution if you want. Get a different look. Mostly I'll make this Okay, that's lighting actually. We can set up your light, but you see, looks pretty good. Now I can select this. I want to reduce this height. Actually, this is too much, so I'm going to reduce the height. Smooth. Or maybe I can increase the smooth. There you can see this is looking good. Now I'm going to create a desert the same way. Let's go to material function. I can duplicate the snow, control D. I'm going to rename this snow to desert. Double click to open. And I have to replace the material I have. Another material, which is rippled sand. Tune, I can select this and replace it. Select the normal and replace. Select this texture and select this and replace it. Now we have created the desert. It's nice, and I'm going to swap this mf underscore ground underscore desert. That's all. Within a few clicks, so we can completely change the environment. That's the power of using material functions or amazing. So it makes things very simple and easier. All right, now we're going to create a little bit more enhanced version of this textures. I'm going to make a little different blending. So let's create a new level. Okay. Now we have already created this grass, ground, and all these things, right? So now I want to create another instance for rock. So before that, I will use this grass. I'm going to create a new material. It's m underscore ground mf new. So first we are going to change this to use material attribute. Let's bring this grass, connect into this, save it. Now this I'm going to convert this into mf new. Right click, new metal instance, apply this. Now we have this all the attribute here. I can reduce and increase. Just want to keep it like this. Okay. Now I'm going to use the ambient occlusion to enhance this texture, and we're going to have more control on color, contrast, brightness, and we're going to control the ambient occlusion also. We're not seeing this much ambient occlusion, but we're going to do that. So just go to this grass material function, just double click to open this function. Before connecting into the reroute color, so we're going to add some more controls. The first thing is we are going to control the color. Hold M, multiply node, and the B I'm going to use 3 vector, which is hold 3 and left click. So you can create this 3 vector, which you can choose the color when you double click on there. So make this white, and I'm going to convert this to parameter. Give the name grass underscore, which is very important, color tint. Connect this into B. Now if I double click, and I can change the color like what I want. Then I want to control the contrast. Always I like to use power node for adjusting the contrast. Hold E, left click, And the exponential, I'm going to change this into parameter. It is grass contrast. Okay. Then you can connect this into this. Now, gross contrast, I'm going to make it 1. And then I'm going to use one more node, which is going to be the desaturation. Sometimes when you are increasing the contrast, it gets too much of saturation. So desaturation. And right click on the fraction, promote parameter, give grass desaturation. Okay. I hope that's it. So if you add these controls before this, and this will inherit the value to the base color. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. You can comment this, keep this things clear and neat. Okay, see color. I can give some blue. You can double click and change the color. And I'm going to give normal strength also for this, because sometimes we need to adjust the normal strength. So right click, type normal strength, connect that like that. I'm going to use right click, go to parameter, grass underscore normal strength. Okay, leave this value to 1. That's it. Next, very important thing, ambient occlusion. Actually, you can directly connect this ambient occlusion. It's not going to be much visible when you see in the scene, but if you wanted to see more dark and bright, so we can utilize the ambient occlusion to control the diffuse, which means we have already this, but still I want to have more control for the color ambient occlusion. So before this ambient occlusion, so I have to control the same way. I'm using this power and multiply. I'm going to use this. So again, power will adjust the contrast of the ambient occlusion. So control D, I can keep this. Sorry. Let's just move this out. Okay, so this is going to adjust the contrast. I'm going to rename this F2 EAVO contrast ambient occlusion. And I'm going to use intensity. So I can use multiply. Multiply will increase the intensity of the EAVO. So I copy this name, right click, promote parameter, paste it. This is intensity. Just leave it 1. Okay, by default it's 1. Then one last occlusion smoothness, that we are going to use divide for smooth. Click, promote parameter, smooth. There you can see that I'm going to align this. Right click, align bottom. See this? I can align it right now if you want, actually. Otherwise, you can leave it as it is. So this AVO, I'm going to multiply with the color. Then we are going to connect this ambient occlusion. We're going to multiply. Kind of too much, but it works really well. And now see this, You see, this is looks like white color, that because the Evo smooth by default give zero point 0.3 or something. Okay, 0.3. Now, what is the use of this? Let me show you this. We have this all the controls. If I open up the instance, double click, you see this all the parameters are available that can be controlled. If I go to the Evo and all things, I'm going to enable the normal strength as usual. You can see the normal strength. If you want, you can adjust. I'm not going to use that. And look at this Evo intensity. If I increase it, contrast, see the ambient occlusion, it's influencing the textures. Okay, which is very useful. I can adjust the smoothness. See, it depends upon the ambient occlusion. And you notice this, there you have a really nice details. Okay, that's very, very useful. You can play from here. Check out this. I have to increase the scale, reduce the scale. Okay, fine. So this same settings, I can use it for other textures also. Still, I have this desaturation. You can desaturate, saturate. If you give minus value, it will desaturate. You can increase the contrast of the color. See that. So always create this and keep it, and later on you can use it. You can control it. Very useful. Okay, using this same settings, I'm going to create one more material function for rock. So go to material functions. So we have this grass, Control D, and instead of grass, I'm going to give name. Let's open up this. Now what I need, we have this all the controls and attributes. Actually, I should have make comment for this all. I forgot to give a color. Okay, this is PP. Okay, it's green. Okay, I can select all and I can organize this. Okay, I'll keep outside. Now we're going to change this textures in Megascan. Again, there is a jagged rock. I'm going to replace. You can see here, it's a rock texture. Select the normal, replace, select this, place it. There, take a look at that. That's all. And very, very important, if I save this, and if you go to the blend material which we have created, this is a grass, right? If I use this rock, connect into the material, save it. Now the material is replaced with rock. And if you go here, you see the names are same. You see that? Still, I can able to adjust the this thing, ambient occlusion. You see this? How much I can able to control this. Okay. Contrast. Okay. See that? I can reset this all once. There you see this contrast. gives this. And you see the names because for the grass material function also have the same name. For the rock also we have the same name. So this has to be replaced with even this UV. Okay, now I have to rename the UVs, all the UVs. Okay, so to do that, first I'm going to disconnect this. I'm going to reroute this. Named reroute declaration. Let's call it UV. You can change the reroute color also. Something like this. Again, UV. Give color red. Okay. Now this UV, I can use it. Exercise. I'm going to delete this instead of that. I can use it. This is better because if I can rename only this, this will inherit the values instead of connecting this separately. You have to, if I want to rename this, I just wanted to rename this only this. Okay, so let's type rock underscore UV. Now this will override all the settings. I don't have to separately rename this. So for this also, I'm going to rename with the name rock. Okay. Okay, I have renamed everything, all the UVs and the parameters I have renamed with rock. Now, the very important thing, you have to select this, all the parameters, select them, select everything, even this, put this in a new group called rock. So everything will be organized inside a group. So when I save this, now if I open up this, see this, we have the group and we have this, all the different settings. I can increase this. I can adjust the contrast. Look at this. We have all the control. You can even change this different color if you want. That's right. That's nice. Okay. You can increase the normal strength. You can see that. Now we are going to blend grass and this rock. Okay. So we have created this. We got to blend this according to the height, of this rock. Okay. So we need to get the height information. We are getting only the color normals and all things, right? But I want to get the height information from this rock. So I just open this. Now we have this name readout. We have taken this height, which is blue. I can create a function output. So you can create a new. Right click name readout. I can take the height and connect into this. This output, I can rename this to height. I save that. That blue, you see this, we have the height. So the blue channel has been giving this output so that I can use it. It's nice, but you can see the order, which is alphabetical order by default. I have to sort this. First, I'm going to select this, make the sort priority 1. and this is going to be 2. With this setup, as for some reason, I can take normal also. Function output is going to be 3. This is normal. Save this and check out this. We have a color, height, and normal. It's nice. Now, what is the use of this height? I can use for blending this too. So I'm going to switch blend material attributes. We know already, right? Take this, connect into here. The grass goes to A, and ground rock goes to B. The alpha I can use contrast. Sorry, height. Alpha I can use height. Save this. Now let's see what happening. Yeah, look at this. We have the grass is happening on the height of the rock. So it's, but doesn't look good. It's okay, but we need to increase the contrast. We need a more control to adjust the height and contrast. So let's go back to this. Instead of directly connecting to the alpha, I'm going to use power. You can create a E, hold E and power, create a power. And the exponential, I'm going to promote a parameter. Height contrast. Okay, just give a name, height contrast, and save this. Now you can see if I can go to this material. We have this height contrast. Increase it slowly. But doesn't look good. Okay, it's okay, but that's so great, huh? And yeah, you see this when I connect this grass, and you get this all the grass attributes also. I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to increase the contrast, the grass. Now you can see this is not so great, but I have another method to blend. Instead of using this, you can use multiply, divide, as usually can do it, but this time I'm going to use different method. So first to take the height, I'm going to subtract it with the value of height. That is going to define the height. Okay, that's going to define the height. Then this height is going to be smooth. I want to smooth the height. Okay, this is subtracting the height information, and this is going to be smooth. So when you want to smooth this, you can use this divide. In the B, I'm going to promote the parameter and give height smooth. Height smooth. You can see this is height and this is a height smooth. We're going to multiply both. So one single. And if I connect this alpha, we get this option, but you can see now we have the height and height smooth. So let's select this both. I'm going to increase the height. You see this, it is happening like this. This is because we have to clamp the values because it's exceeding too much. So right click, saturate it, and that's all. Now you notice this looking good. Amazing. Now we have this height and height smooth. I can increase and reduce. You see this height, how we are blending the height. The rock contrast I'm going to increase, so you can see here, and smooth a little bit. Look at that. So this is a height, and this is a smooth. You can increase and see how nicely it is. It's getting smooth. Smoothly, it's blending here. You can reduce the UV size. It's very. Now you can see here. Can reduce and increase the height. I don't want 0 actually. It's all right. So you see this how nicely we are able to blend this. Now you see this when I go plus, when I go minus, it is inverting. So I can use clamp instead of using a saturation this time. You see this is flipping, and the smooth also. See? So in this situation, you can use, instead of saturation, I'm going to use clamp, which gives only 0 to 1. Save. There we go. Now we are going to create a frozen lake. Frozen lake. There is a material. I'm going to duplicate this. Alt and duplicate. See this. There is a material in Pixel Bridge. We go to Pixel Bridge. There is a frozen lake. I have already downloaded. You can see there is a frozen lake material. You can search frozen lake and you can download this texture, this material. You can apply that and you can see this is one, and it doesn't look like okay, but it is having some texture, some roughness. That's all. But what I'm going to create, I'm going to create a depth inside, below the frozen ice. There should be some depth. Okay, first I will explain how it works. So first I'm going to make a material, m underscore, so lake. Okay, so open up. This is a little bit different material. For this, I am going to use parallax occlusion. So if you right click, parallax occlusion mapping. Okay, this is also a material function. So you can see there's a lot of inputs and outputs happening here. For the height map, this is a really important thing. So we need to use some height. So for the frozen lake, you can use any type of height maps if you have, you can use it, but I'm going to use for this case, I like to use this chalk rock, the ORDP. Remember that this texture sample have blue is the height, right? But you notice is the height map, you have to connect texture T2D, which means it will accept only texture object. So if I convert this into texture object, what happens? You get this only one output. So we won't get this all the red, green, blue. So, but you can do one thing. You can able to specify it only you wanted to take the blue from here. There is an option height map channel vertex 4 actually. V4 means vertex, sorry, vector coordinate, vector 4 actually. So we hold 4 and left click, and I can see this is creating this vector 4 which have red, green, blue, alpha. We need blue channel, right? So make this blue 1 and connect this into height map channel. Then I need to have some other things like height ratio, min and max step. Actually, I want to have a height ratio promote to parameter, and I want max step If you want, you can create min step also, but I'm not going to use that. For the UV coordinate, I'm going to use UV, hold U and left click, and you can create this texture coordinate. I'm going to connect into this. Sometimes you want to adjust the tiling, so you can use multiply. And the B, convert to parameter, UV tile. I'm going to make this by default 2. Okay, this is what the first thing you have to do. In the text, the parallax UV, we're going to get the same texture, this one, this one. This is going to distort this UV. Okay, then if I take this and B and connect into the base color, now you can see here we have this, but we don't see any depth now. So if I increase the height ratio, like 0.2, 0.5, now slowly we are getting this depth. You can see here, looks like ice. Okay, now we have the issue that there is some problem. I'm going to save this, and I just wanted to apply this into the surface. Then yes, look at this. I want to make this metal instance, apply, and double click to open this instance. Now you see this, we have this depth. It looks nice. I like it. And I'm going to increase the max step, will increase the quality. You see this? I increase the max step, you will not have the distortion, and you get the high quality. Now you can see here, looks nice. If I play from here, look at this. We have the depth. The depth is defined by this height ratio, so I can reduce and increase how much you want the height should be. And okay, looks good. And I want to adjust the roughness. You see this, we don't have any connection for the normal roughness. Let's just create a roughness, save this, because I need some reflection. Nothing is happening, but I can rotate the light. I see this light is reflecting on this. Still I can able to adjust the roughness. I'm going to increase a little bit. Now you see this, looks like some reflection is happening, and you can able to see the depth inside the surface. Now I want to use both frozen lake texture. You can see here this texture and normal and all the things. Let's take this off and put that inside. First, I'm going to use this normal. Disconnect that, save it, and check. You see the normal, it's creating some rough. I have to make the roughness also. So in this, take rough. I can use multiply with this. I can override the value. So use multiply. Take the green, because green is the roughness, right? Just connect to this. Now I can see. Look at that. And still I have the control for roughness, so I can increase the rough. nice actually. Look at that. And I can have a separate UV coordinate so that I can tile this ice and the top floor ice. And still I haven't connect the color. Connection. How do we do that? So you can see this is looks good, and I'm going to use. So this is the color blue is the color we are connecting, right? But I can multiply this both blue and this. So let's multiply, connecting to the base color. Look at this, nice. And still, I should have some more control with this. Nice. I should have more control for the color of this frozen lake, but looks nice. Anyway, so I'm going to use UV coordinate for this, all the textures. Let's create a UV coordinate. I can use the same thing like, okay, Control D and duplicate. This I am going to rename that texture UV tile. It's very important. And named reroute because texture UV. Right click, name reroute. So this will override. You can connect this. Now I can able to change the size. It's already it is 2. You see this texture UV. I can increase it. Look at this. Now I need to control the color of the ice. So right now it looks white and black. Sometimes you have to make some bluish, greenish ice, bluish ice kind of thing. I wanted to give the tint. I can do that instead of this directly connecting to the multiply. I'm going to use linear interpolation. Sorry, I'm going to use linear interpolation for this blue. The blue is the height of the ice, right? So linear interpolation, hold 3 to give blue color, almost white blue. Duplicate. Before that, I convert into parameter. Color A. Control D. Color B. Give most dark green. Okay. Fine. So this goes to B. This goes to A. And take this output into B. Now you see this. This is going to control the color. Look at that. Save. Look at this. Looks green, dark green. You're getting this, right? I can go to the. Still, I'll be able to change the color. See. Change. You know, can dark. Looks much better, right? So now the thing is that top color looks too much. I want to make a little bit more transparent. I want to control the color transparency of this images. So before this goes to the multiply, I have to adjust the intensity of this. I can use multiply again. So multiply and promote parameter texture intensity 0. See this? And right now it's 0. Looks completely opaque. Increase it. So when I increase too much, see that is looking like this. But you can do a different type of control. Sometimes I can use add, okay, additive. So minus, it is black. This is nice actually. This is good. So you can add another control. Just keep more control, add more controls. And I am going to promote a parameter. This is going to be texture additive color. Just give 0. So this time increase it. See, it gives more effect like that. I can adjust the intensity. Can you see this? So the more visible the texture is, actually this should be dark. This should be bright. Okay, look at this. So make sure you have a lot of control, and I can adjust the additive, reduce the additive, we can make it darker intensity. Okay, so I can use both. Fine. So this is also you can able to convert into material function, like how I use this. Same way I can convert them into material function. So this, you can copy this whole thing. I can put it in the new material function, and I can make it as a material function. So let me show you this. I'm just going to make a new material function, emf underscore frozen lake. I call it blind. Yes, I am going to use So I can copy this whole thing just like this. Control C, go to frozen link, paste it here. Before copying this all, just organize it properly. So make material attributes. You can keep this, the whole thing. Going to keep it here. I like to organize this. Okay. Named readout. Color. Comment this. This is going to be. You can directly connect. No problem. This is roughness. And connect this output to this. That's all. Let's save this. Now I'm going to use this frozen lake material instance to here. Okay. Before that, I want to take this all the parameters. This all the parameters. In a group. Save it. Otherwise, it will not be properly organized. So let's select and find out this master material MF new. This is a one. Just double click. Then you see this. I'm going to replace with this MF underscore frozen lake. Save it. Now you can see here we have this, but I can go to this. See the color A, color B, I didn't properly categorize it. Something wrong. Yeah, here it is, additive. I made a mistake, I think. Well, it goes to color. No, it is fine. Same thing. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. I Okay, I go back. You see everything I renamed to Frozen Lake. Instead of putting into group, yeah, select this all and select everything. Let's put it in a group actually. Frozen. Okay, put this into group. Now I'll go back. I'm not getting this. Actually, this double click open. Now see this Frozen Lake. And here we go. Actually, height ratio, max steps, 32. Increase 32. And I'm going to increase the UV time a little bit more. You see this? And increase the max step to see clearly. And I have to change the color darker. Okay, actually this should be okay. Look at this. We have a nice. I have to reduce this bit. Increase this texture intensity. Reduce. You can have a lot of control for for this texture. Actually, you can. It's even better. You see this? Frozen. It is looking very, very small anyway. Suppose if you are using for a huge environment, it's really useful. Use this. I can increase the roughness a little bit. You see, you can start seeing this depth. You can see the depth. It is. I'm just showing this using, you know, blending with the rock. But later on, I'm going to use this for landscape actually to create a huge ice landscape kind of thing I'm going to create. So that time I will use this one. Now it is okay. Now we have created material functions. Now we'll discuss how to create a landscape material, something like a winter snow mountain type of landscape material. So first I'm going to create a landscape. Go to landscape. That changes to 127. Going to leave these things default and hit create. Now I'm going to create mountains using landmass plugin. Before creating a landmass plugin, just go to edit, go to plugins, search landmass. You have to enable this. This is very important. Once this is enabled, you have to restart. Go to landscape. Now go to sculpt. There is a blueprint. So click on the blueprint brush, and then you have to choose blueprint brush. I'm going to choose this custom landmass brush. Once you select it, just left click on the viewport. Now we can able to create a pyramid like kind of a thing. So this is based on the curve. So you can able to adjust the curve like this. Okay. I can duplicate this curve if you want. Alt. You see this. I can modify. See here. Okay. So if you want to select the whole curve, you just click on this brush. So you can able to select this whole curve. Now go to details. So now we get this custom brush landmass C, and that same thing we have here. So very first, I'm going to close everything, go to effects, and there is a displacement. You can search displacement here. You can open up this or displacement. Now we have the displacement. I'm going to give about 2000. So you can see we get some displacement, and usually this is because the displacement is happening depending upon this midpoint. If I make 0, the pivot will sit to the bottom. Otherwise, if I make this 0.5 or 1, it will sink inside. So make sure it's 0. Then I can increase the tiling so that you get uh, details. Like if I make this 4, now you can see we have a lot of noise is happening. So depends upon this displacement height, 3000. So you can see here we have a lot of noise. Then I can close this displacement. In the effects itself, there is a curl noise. If you want, you can increase. I suggest you to use very less values. Do not increase too much because it affects a lot. See that? We get a different type of landscape like this. See that? So I'm going to leave this 0.3 and 0.1. And next, I can move this up and down like this, and I can scale it if you want. See again. I can scale in non-proportionally. Like that. Okay, so I think this noise is too much. I think just go to displacement, open this 2500, and I'll reduce this to 3. Yeah, it looks good. Then you can see the ground and the mountain does not have a smooth blending. So for that, I can go to the smooth blending below this displacement. There is a outer smooth threshold. I'm going to increase to, you see this smoothly it is because I'm creating a snow mountain type of thing. So I want to make more smooth in the ground. Now you can see it looks nice. I like it. Now the good thing is you can select the whole landscape curve. I can move and you get a different kind of mountains. So now I can duplicate this. See, can rotate this. So you can do all the move, rotation, scale like this. I can adjust the scale also if I wanted to scale this. I can make it smaller and I can scale this direction. Probably the okay. So I'm going to duplicate one more. Alt. Okay, rotate that. So I'm going to scale this in all direction. So I can extend this a little bit so that it covers the whole thing. Okay, that looks good. Now you can see this really quickly. I have made this. I can play from here. I can check it out. Okay. That's enough. Now we're going to create landscape material. Let's create a new folder. Landscape material. SM. And create a new material. Going to call this M underscore landscape underscore winter or snow. Snow. Double click to open. I'm going to dock into this. So first I'm going to select and change this to use material attribute. We have already created the material function. You see here, okay? We have not, yeah, we have snow, drop that, and have the rock, and we have this frozen lake, and puddle, okay? Okay, I'm going to make landscape layer blend to make a layer. So type landscape layer blend, connect into the snow. Since right now we don't have any layers now, so we have to manually create the layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can have only 4, it's fine. Because we have 4 layers. The first one is okay, I want to have 5 layers. The first one is going to be automatic blend rock and snow. I have to blend. The second one is going to be snow. Third one is going to be rock. The fourth one, frozen lake. And the fifth one is going to be puddle. Okay. Now let's create this. First, we'll connect all the layers, snow and rock, frozen, puddle. For the auto, we are going to blend the snow and the ground rock, the both. We are going to Control D, duplicate, and I just want to keep it here because I want to blend them. So use blend material attribute. We know already A and B. That's fine. And the alpha, we are going to get. Already we have done the height blend and all the stuff, right? So from there we are going to get the. I think the blend. I think this. No, not this. Actually, open up the original. Now you can see here. We have already done this, right? So you remember this all we created. So this is for height blend and this is the normal blend. I'm going to copy this Control C. I don't have to recreate this whole thing. Yes, already we have. This alpha, I'm going to right click, name reroute. This alpha will be available here. So you can select that, connect it to this. Now here is the important thing I just want to do that. You see the blend normal and this we are using a parameter node, right? So I'm not going to use this. Instead of that, according to this rock material normal, the blend should happen, right? We have taken output, if I double click, you can see here from the normal we taken output because we created this normal. Okay, we take this named readout and we connected to normal, as well as we have taken an output normal function output, so that you get this output here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a named reroute declaration node, and this is going to be blend normal. You can give, actually you can take this directly, I can connect into this. It looks really confusing, so instead of this, now I'm going to use this named readout and blend normal. I can connect. This is very simple. See, I am using directly taking it from here because the tiling, if you connect separately for this explicit normal, this normal tile will be different, and the rock, the original landscape material rock will be different size, right? So that's why we are taking the same normal through the reroute and connecting to this. This is very important, otherwise you get some issue. The whole thing, I'm going to name the reroute. I'm going to call this after, so that I can put this R2 into this. That's all we have created. Now let's apply this into this. Okay, select this and select the landscape, apply landscape. Now you'll be looking at this because it has to apply layer info. So select the landscape, go to landscape, go to paint, and we have this all the layers available. It's really nice. And we're going to create the layer info by clicking on this plus. You can give a name if you want. So I'm going to leave this. Yeah. Now immediately you will be seeing this, and we have to adjust some settings on the material itself. So I'm creating this all the weight blend layer info for all the layers. All right. Now just save this all. Okay, save it. And now this material, we have applied this master material, which is the original material. You can click on that. So, but I'm going to right click, create material instance. I'm going to give okay, apply this. Okay, then open the material, just double click. Now first we have to, you can see this, all the parameters are available. Okay, so all the parameters are available. I think that the blend, we don't have, we don't have a group for the blend because these all parameters, I can put them into a group. Actually, we don't have the group for them, so I can select this all the parameters. Let's give it a blend and save. Now you can see that that will be available inside the blend. Okay, so now I can change this blend bias, blend sharpness. Now you see this. Now actually make it a little bit more. Now we have this, but the tiling of this rock is very small, so I have to increase the size of that. So here is the group here, rock. I'm going to make this 2000 or 3000 maybe. Yeah, 2000 looks good. And now you see this, the normal blend also affecting the size. No, that is also, we are affecting it. It's nice. And then I'm going to, you see this normals are affecting this ground, so I don't want to happen this. Increase the height. So now you see it's filled. And if I increase the smoothness, which is going to make a nice blend on this. You see this? This is happening. It is happening. That's nice. I like that. Looks good. Now you can play from here. You see the snow. It is looking like this. Now I have to fine tune the rock texture, which is not looking good. Go to rock. We have this occlusion, contrast, and the rock contrast. I'm going to increase this. If I increase it, you see, you start seeing this. The ambient occlusion is really strong. I can increase the contrast. Looks I think it's pretty nice. Still, if you wanted to make some reason, if you want to make this snows would be very smooth, and you don't want to have this too much of details on this. We have created this blend normal sense. You remember that, right? That's the that's the parameter which is coming from this blend normal strength, right? So if I reduce it, you get very less influenced by the normal, but still I can able to adjust this. I can increase the sharpness. And look at this. This is very, very nice. So I can easily control this. And I can increase a little bit. So you get a little bit of noise happening. That's so this is happening according to the surface normal. According to the slope, wherever you have the slope, there is no snow. Okay, just nice. That's what I want. Okay, so I'm going to change the lighting a little bit. So I'm going to delete this volumetric clouds. Exponential height fog. Make it 0.5. I want to have more fog. I'm going to enable this volumetric. So now you can see here we have a lot of fog coming. And go to high sky atmosphere, and I can change these two settings. This two, sorry. First, I'm going to absorption scale a little. Let's increase this, and you start seeing this blue nice snow is happening. You can control L and change the light direction. You get an idea how this is giving a nice look, right? And if you want, you can adjust this MI scattering scale as well, so that it gives more uh, cloudy or you know soft light. You get something rainy or snowy type. If you are going to make, so you can just change this settings and you get a different look. Okay, you have to decide which you like to have. Still, you can able to adjust the exponential height bar. The really good thing is now we're going to paint frozen lake. Let's see how this is going to look like. So increase the brush size. I can reduce the brush size, hold the shift. Sorry, I can select the snow. I can paint or something. I want to make it looks random. I can leave this frozen lake. Now this frozen lake looks like reflective because I have to make some changes on the material. Let's open up this material, and we have the frozen lake. First, I'm going to enable this. Most everything I'm going to enable. Roughness. Yeah, I'm going to enable everything because I have to control. First, I'm going to increase the height ratio. Oops, sorry. Actually, texture additive. Now you start seeing this. Okay, but the tile is too small, so texture UV tile. I'm going to make this 0.2. I think this one. Sorry, 0.1 or 0.2, 0.3 or something. And now you can see here we are getting this some depth, but if you want to see clearly, you have to increase this max steps. Increase really high. Now you can see clearly, but keep in mind this is very expensive, but you get a nice look. I can adjust the The height ratio, it's going to define the height of this. I can modify the depth, and I have to change the color because this color I want to make it most white, and this one I want to make dark. Look at this. Okay, so what is special if I right click and play? Look at this. And now you see this. You can see the depth in the shader. Still, I have to do some more changes. Okay, I have to make some changes. Okay. I'm going to adjust this texture density, and you can start seeing this. And I have to increase the roughness a little bit because it's too shiny. Now you can see here, it looks nice. I have to reduce this and increase the additive. Additive, if I reduce, it looks very dark. And now look at this. So beautiful. You can see we can see the frozen ice looking effect, but I think that the texture intensity is too much. I'll make it 1, and look at this, nice, so beautiful. And we can add puddles also. So I'm going to add puddle, and I show you this puddle. I'm going to paint over here, and if you notice this color is different because we have to change that. So that's a different layer. So one thing I want to show you before that, you notice this normal, it's not happening nearby this because change the light direction. Maybe I'll switch off the exponential height box so that I can show you what is happening is here you can able to see you see this. I will increase the normal intensity of the snow. Okay, I don't have the control for that. I think I don't have the control. Okay. I haven't created any control for that. So what is happening is that the snow is stops over here. Control L and change the direction. Yeah, now I can see clearly. See the snow? It's happening only this much because when I paint puddle, if I clear the puddle layer, if we go to landscape, if I clear this, right click, clear, now see the snow, the normal is working. But when I paint this puddle, immediately you see this, but this is what happened. The whole component is getting affected, and it's the normal is disappear, right? To fix this is because it is happening because of the puddle material which we have created. If I go to this and check this puddle material function, if I open this, for every material we have created the normal connection, but here we don't have any normal. So I don't need any details, but still you should have a connection for the normal. So I'm going to create a 3 vector, hold 3 and left click and make it blue 1, nothing. That's it. Just connect this into normal and save it. Now if I paint puddle, this will not disappear. This is one thing you have to keep in mind. If sometimes if you are not, if you're having this issue, just go and change the normal. Okay, let's paint it here. And now you can see this looks really bad. I have to change some settings on the puddle layer just to open up the puddle color. I want to change to, I'll make it dark. Then let's change the light. Maybe I want to make this 0.1 towards blue, little bit. Okay. Do you see this? Doesn't look good. But if we go landscape, I can smooth this puddle layer if you want. I can select the paint. I can reduce the tool strength to 0.3, about 0.3. I can paint. It makes a nice and soft blend instead of painting really harsh. I can, because of the brush fall of it one, so it gives a nice smooth stroke on the painting. So this is, I'm giving idea, and you can explore more options. So this puddle I'm creating because this creates some illusion of looking like a depth. I'm creating it. Okay, so now let me show you this. Go to landscape, sorry, selection, enable the exponential height fog. Look at this. If I play from here, you see this looks like some depth is happening. See, look at this. Still I have to smooth, I have to smooth that puddle layer. So let's go back to landscape, select this and make it smooth. First I paint almost every closer to this 0.5. And select smooth. The smooth tool strength also you can reduce it. Now let's play. Check it out. Look at this. How nice it is. You see the depth? Looks really nice. Perfect. And still you have a lot of control. Like I'm going to change the light direction. It's coming from this direction. Okay. So I can able to paint snow on the top. You see this? The snow, it is getting nicely blend the snow and the depth on the ice. Now you see the puddle here looks more shiny. So this puddle also I have to control the reflection. This is too much, right? Go to puddle roughness. I'm going to increase it. Now see this. Look at this. Point. Excellent. Now we can see it looks more like a frozen, and it is having a depth in the eyes, see the water depth. Nice. So I'm going to change the light a little bit. Okay, nice. Now I can go back to landscape, select snow, reduce the tool strength, go to paint and reduce the tool strength, 0.2, reduce the brush size. I can paint some snow. See, just get this snow. Then I want to add some assets, snow assets. If you want, you can add some trees, some rocks, and everything. So we have already created the asset blending. You remember that? So you can drop some assets in the top, and you can blend snow on the asset. Okay, so we'll discuss that. Now we're going to add asset inside the scene, and we're going to blend. In Metascan, there are some assets available like this. But I keep it here. But the thing is, this is not blending with the ground. I have to blend it. Okay. We have already created this blend material, but I'll create one more. It's very simple. Let's go to this. So create a material and underscore. Okay. Double click, open, change this use material attribute, and we're going to import that snow. We have created the snow, and we have already ground asset blend. Okay. So let's drag and drop this, and we're going to blend this. Same blend material attribute. And from the same alpha, we're going to take this, only this. I'm not going to take this. Control C, copy, and paste it here. Actually, you don't need this multiply, just select directly. Right click, alpha. That's nice. So now I'll apply that material, create a material instance, apply this. First of all, the textures is different. So let's open up this material instance. We can able to change these textures. We have already created this. You remember this. And I'm going to change this. Control, select this asset, Control B. This will show the textures. So let's take this one first. This is a normal, and this one goes to here. Next, we're going to adjust the height. Now let's select the height. Can you see this? Enable this blend. See now how nicely it's blending with the ground. I like it. That's so simple. You can drop any assets inside the scene. You just make material. You see the advantage of making material functions, and you can recreate the materials. Everything will become easy. You can reuse it. At the same time, you can explore it. So this tutorial season I am creating for training purpose. So you can explore more options using this. I hope this will help you to learn something from Unreal Material functions. So far, we have created this all material functions. I have created two more material functions, which is stone floor, as you can see here, with the same method we have created before. And now using this material function, we're going to make a very simple landscape material. So before creating a landscape, go to edit plugins, enable land moss plugin. So you have to restart. You enable that. Let's go to the landscape, and I'm going to set this to 255 quads, and let's create it. Within that landmass plugin we have enabled. So in sculpt, landscape mode, sculpt, select blueprint. I'm going to change the brush type to custom brush landmass. Left click on this scene. Now you'll be able to see this small pyramid looking landscape. Okay, so this can be modified. So first, go to effects. In the effects, there is a displacement. So the displacement height. So this is having already a displacement texture. So when I give this 2500, something like that, and you see this, we are getting some displacement effect. And if I increase this to 6, okay, that's too much. 5. Yeah, you can see the displacement is happening. And you notice that that displacement is happening in the middle level, which is going down. So you can able to make this midpoint to 0. So now I can see the landscape. I can even make this little bit different kind of look. Okay, 7. Just try to explore different settings and you get a different kind of look. Okay, then if you want, you can go to the color noise, give very slight values like a 0.1 or something, so get a different look. If you can see this 0.2, I think 0.1, 0.15 maybe. It's nice. You can increase the curl to strength also. I'm going to leave this 0.05 is good. Okay. Still, there are some other options, like if you want to blend this landscape with the ground. So you can go to the smooth blending, is available in the effects itself, and there is a outer smooth threshold. You can make 500 or something so that you get the nice. You can give more values if you want to make more smooth here. So I'm going to leave this 500, totally fine. Then you can modify this landscape by adjusting these points. If you can select this, I think you know about it, right? So already I can extend that. I can change it. I can select this brush to select this whole spline. I can scale it like this. So I'm going to leave this as it is. Then I can able to duplicate this if I want. Alt, maybe I'll rotate this maybe like this. I'm going to duplicate this. Alt and left click and move. You can see. The reason why I'm giving the displacement because it is not going to give same look if I move this. You see that the shape has been changed and you get a different look. That's the reason I'm giving that displacement. If I scale it, notice that you get a really nice mountain type of look. You still I can able to move this. You see that? Good. And I'm going to duplicate the same over here, or else I can duplicate this and move. And you can rotate this and you can overlap this like this. See that? Gives different kind of look. But I'll keep here. I can scale it non-proportionally. Extend that. So this is very useful for creating a background type of thing. In this environment, I'm not going to do high detail landscape. So we are going to discuss about landscape material. So I'm not going to worry about the details in the landscape. Just scaling it. Maybe I can scale from the center. Okay, that's good. Make some changes. Now we're going to make landscape material. So first go to our folder. I'm going to create a new folder. Material. Right click, create material, m_, matte, simple. Okay, let's open up that. Double click to open and dock this into the things. First, I'm going to change this use material attribute. Then I'm going to create a landscape layer blend. It's a very simple paint layers you can able to create and connect that into this. So we're going to bring all this material functions which we have created. First thing is I'm going to get the grass and we're going to take the rock and I want to actually there is a dirt. Okay, not this. That's asset actually ground it and I'm going to import this stone. We have two stones actually. I will show you how we can shift A. You can arrange left alignment. Okay, shift A, shift D is a right alignment. Okay. So we have this, and I'm going to import this puddle layer also. Now we have 5 material functions, and in this layer blend, I'm going to add 6 layers. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 0 to 5. Okay. The first one I'm going to make auto. It means automatically it has to blend according to the height of the landscape, grass and the rock. Okay. So next we're going to enable grass. and dirt. Give a simple name because we're going to use paint layers on landscape. So if it is having a very simple name, it's very useful. Tile. I think I missed something. Auto, grass, rock, dirt, tile, and then finally the puddle layer. Okay, now get this layers. You can see now we have this. I'm going to take the grass, just the grass. We will do the auto layer later. So rock, the dirt, tile, and the puddle. Okay. For this auto layer, I'm going to blend grass and rock. Grass and rock. So Control D, duplicate this too, grass and rock. We're going to use blend material attributes. Take this A, connect into the A, and B. We're going to take this named readout declaration node, and that's going to be auto. Okay. Now the alpha, we have to use height blend as well as the normal blend. I think we have created this already in the material itself, so I'll show you. Okay, you remember this, we already created this height blend as well as the normal blend, world align blend. So this I can copy this, just or select everything, copy, and I'm going to paste it here. Control V, and you see this everything is comes organized already. That's why whenever you create the nodes, keep organized and align it properly. So when you reuse this, it will be very useful. The one thing I want to do, I want to put this all the parameters into group. So go to this group, select everything, and I'm going to give so that the parameters will be inside the group. So now we have already rerouted the alpha so that I can right click, I can choose this, that's it. And this reroute auto, right click, connect. That's all. We have created the simple landscape material. Save this. I'm going to save all. And I will put that into the material. Okay. Now we got to apply that material. Okay, select this landscape material, select this landscape, apply, assign this. Now you see this black color, which means you have to go to landscape and I have to assign paint layers. Go to paints. Now we don't have a paint layers now. Just click on the plus, create a weight blend layer. You have to put this inside our, so better, you can give a name. This is very important because sometimes if you have already with the same name, it will be confusing. Okay, save all. Now we have created, now we got to apply You notice this, if I select and I can paint the layers, did. So we have created this. I'm going to clear this first. Later on, we will create. So clear. Go back to selection. Now I'm going to create material instance from this master material. Just right click, create material instance. Select that material instance, save it, and I'm going to apply to this. Then double click, open this material instance. We're going to make some settings. First, blend bias, blend sharpness. I'm going to make about 13 or 14. Increase this to 20 or something. 40. Okay, good. And we have to adjust the rock tiling, just not right. Just go to, we have this all the parameters just inherit from the material function. So first I'm going to change the rock UV, which is 4000. You know, already know how we have made this this material functions, right? 1500. Just explore the values. 4000 is good. I like it. And one thing I want to show you, that there is a noise. If you notice that, that's because of the uh, the the landscape blend, world align blend happening according to this normal map. This is I have attached this rock, beach rock landscape normal map, but I have to align this grass according to this rock uh, normal. Okay, so to do that, see that we have made already this rock output normal. If I double click this, you see this, I have taken this from the normal. I have take a function output. Okay, then I give a name, so this will be updated. This is coming from the normal map which we have created, and we made this named reroute. So I can take this normal directly into the normal strength, which is controlling this intensity of the normal. So I can connect into this. I don't need this. You see this comes to this. We have directly connected, so that the scale of the rock will match perfectly. And you notice this is getting a nice the blend is happening according to the normal direction of this rock. That's pretty good. And just for organizing purpose, because it is not proper actually. That means I'm going to reroute this instead of connecting directly from there. Just take this. So this is very, very useful. Blend. And this reroute, I'm going to connect it here. Now it's looking good, right? That's the reason I'm rerouting this. Looks good. The rock looks too bright because I have to adjust contrast, intensity, and texture contrast. First, I'm going to increase this contrast to about 7 something. Now you can see we have the ambient occlusion shadow. So I want to make this little less, maybe. And reduce this. Okay. And this is going to be 0.22 something. And the contrast of the rock, I want to make a little, I think, let me see this. So still I can able to adjust this bit to look and feel. Make this okay. I think it's nice, and I'm going to make this 500, 5,000. Yeah, looks good. Then I'm going to adjust the grass also. So, and contrast little bit. Okay. So I can enable that little bit. I will reduce this. Increase. Okay, looks good. And there is one thing I want to explain this position. So we have this blend normal strength. Okay, so that's, we have created this from the material function, right? If I increase this blending will happen according to the normal direction. That means if I see the blend, mostly the grass will apply on the gap, in the gap. There will be a lot of rock. I can increase this and reduce it a little bit. Now you see that it will fill inside the gap in the rock. Okay. At the same time, if you reduce it to very less, about 0 or something, this thing will fill only on the top of the landscape. You see that? So you can decide how you want the blending should happen. For example, if you are working some kind of snow type of environment or desert type of environment, definitely you can set this normal very less. Okay, but for this environment I'm going to give little bit 0.8 or something, and let's reduce this, and you see we're getting more blend in the gaps. Something looks like it's mossy effect to make this. That gives a really nice and interesting blend. So let's make this a little bit higher and just adjust this to attributes here. Reduce it. I think this, I'm going to give 1.5 will be good, I think. Okay, that's good. Next, I'm going to create a path. Something like if I wanted to make some path going a tile type of a path I want to create, and dirt road I want to create. So you can directly paint this. I select the tile and I'm going to paint it like this. Okay. So I can go back. And I just want to show you this. Look at this. Okay, that's good. But I want to make this styling using a spline. Say, for example, I want to paint the both side. I want to paint dirt. So sometimes when you make this thing, this painting manually, it will be tedious. Instead of that, you can use a spline. Both have advantage and disadvantage. So first I'm going to clear this. So go to sculpt, go to blueprint. I'm going to change same custom brush landmass like that. I'm going to left click. Of course, you get that. You will get this type of triangle here. But I don't want to make a mountain type of thing. So instead of, I'm going to change the brush type to landscape outline to spline mesh. Okay. Now you see that if I select this point and if I move, that's creating a spline, and I can move and change the direction like this. You see we're getting a sharp cut. That's because of you have to enable this auto spline tangents. I create a smooth and nice round plan. And of course I can duplicate this, alt and left click and move. Okay, make this, oops, sorry, I had move. But you notice that there is the peak. That is also I don't want. So to avoid this peak, you can use a, there is a one more method. So select this landmass, you, okay, and go to this detail. If you go to fall off, there is a cap shape. If I enable that, it creates the cap. You notice that? Just I want to move this a little bit in so that you get idea how this. So this is a spline. Along the spline, it's creating the mesh. That's a spline mesh. You want to change the size. Before that, I can use a fall off to change the size. Before that, I want to, along the spline, I want to create the paint, the name tile. Keep in mind this tile I want to put them. So you select the spline, go to details, go to paint layers, click on add layer, give name tile. You remember the name we have created, and now you can see the tile is created along the paint, sorry, along the spline. And I have to reduce the size of the spline, which is too big now, so I can change it. So I can go to spline mesh. There is an option flatten mesh scale. Change this. Okay. Then you have to adjust the fall off. So go to fall off. You want to change the fall off mode to width, which is too high. So I'm going to make this 100. Then now you can see. So still I can able to adjust the edge width offset. You can see this is extending like this. Then I can move the spline a little bit up. Okay. You can see this now. Maybe you can reduce the scale a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to add a dirt layer on this side. So I have to go to paint layers again. Just click on the plus. I'm going to type dirt. Now you can see the dirt layer is on the top of the tile. But I want to make this dirt should be only in the corners. I don't want this to be in the center. So you can open up the dirt layer. There is option mask using band. Still, it is having some, it is filled inside. So I'm going to increase this edge offset and follow up with both. So first I'm going to change this to 100 and increase this. So now you can see the dirt layer is moving to the corner. Maybe like 30, 50, 100, 200, 500. Yes. Now you can see the dirt layer is in the corner. And if you want to increase this little bit more blend within this, you can increase this with, you can see now it is spreading out. I can reduce this to bring inside. You can see here. So 350 is fine. Now you can see the both, but still you can notice that the grass layer still on the tile here. That's because this auto layer already it's filled. So we have to remove this auto layer in the paint. So let's select the spline, add another paint layer, into type auto, and make the final opacity to 0 or -1. So that will remove the grass in the center. Now I have to fine tune this texture color. This looks very bright because I have to go to material and go to the stone floor. Or increase this. Now we start seeing the ambient occlusion in the center. I'm going to increase the contrast as well. So you can see now it looks so clear. The same way you can adjust the dirt also. I'm going to increase a bit, and I'm going to increase the contrast. So now you can see here. Grass, just okay. Now I can see here. If I can play this, you can see here. So I have to reduce the tiling for this stone. $200. Okay. So you can see here. Still, you can able to adjust this blending. You see this nicely it is blending between the grass, the dirt, and the tile. You can go to the paint layer, go to landscape, and select this. Each one of them having this texture. Say for example, if I go to this dirt layer, so there is an option texture influence. If I make this to this creates, I increase this to 20, and I'm going to increase the midpoint 0. Now the blend is happening randomly according to this texture. Okay, you make this 50, you can start seeing this. Okay, so you can increase the texture influence, and it's influencing more. You can reduce the influence 0.5. That. So we can adjust for tile also. Still this path looks very big, so I can adjust inside the tile. I can adjust the midpoint. If I make 1, you see that it shrinks down more like this. I can adjust the midpoint of the dirt also. See, I can increase this, adjust the edge under. I can adjust this also. So you can set up this midpoint 5.8. So you can adjust this to make this looks more natural. So set up this properly. Now you can see looks much better. So you can play from here. You can check out this. And one last thing, you can select this. You can adjust the displacement also if it is necessary. See, if I increase this to this 500, now you can see it's, we're getting this thing, right? So I have to adjust the midpoint to 0 or 0.5. It's okay, but you can increase the styling to get more displacement. You see this? You're getting this little bit of displacement is happening, but I'm not going to use this with this. In case if you want, you can do this. So I'm going to leave to keep this layer. Now, if I want to switch this tile material, actually we have already, but I want to change this tile material. In case you can go to material itself. So now we have this ground stone floor too. So I'm going to create a switch node between this. I'm going to disconnect this. I want to use another stone. Okay, floor and floor 2. So you can use switch parameter. Okay, static switch parameter, and you can name this F2 stone switch. Okay, if it is true, this. If it is false, this. So by default it is off. I can take this and connect into the tile just like this and save it. Now what happens if you can get the, you see this, we have switched, but still I have the control. You see this static switch. If I enable that, we can switch between this tiles. If I switch off this and you get this stone and I get the attribute also, this is really nice. If I enable this, see what happens. If I enable this, this is stone floor now, right? You get the stone floor too. So automatically the parameters will update. So you can adjust the settings. Then I can reduce this tile, which is really cool. You can switch the material function instantly using the switch here. Same way, actually closed it. Sorry, I think I have closed it. So go to the material. Let's open up this material, double click. I can switch between grass and snow. Same way. First, I'm going to put this in the group so that I can I can switch between the grass and snow. So let me show you that. I can go to the snow. Okay. If you want to enable the height from the snow, just double click to open. Now see this, I didn't give any height. I have this height, but I didn't take output. So right click, I'm going to get this named readout. Right click, select the height, and click and drag out. So I'm going to give function output. Output, I'm going to give the name height. Okay. Sort priority, this is going to be 2. This is going to be 1. Save. Now you get this height. Right? So we're going to use the same switch. I can duplicate this, Control D. True and false. And this I'm going to rename that grass or snow. Okay. Let's get this output into the V. Now what happens if I save this? Look at this, we have snow now, right? Still, I can go to the parameter and you see we have a switch grass or snow. I can enable the snow. Okay. So I can switch between the snow or grass. It is very, very useful. Now we have the issue, like if I want to paint, go to landscape, select the paint, puddle. If I paint here, I can able to paint. It's nice. Now if I paint here, this is not going to happen properly. That's because of, you see this, we have the puddle is happening very, very slightly. So what I want is, I want to paint the puddle according to the height of this stone. Okay. So I'm going to clear this, right click, clear the layer. So to do that, I'm going to enable height, the layer. So right now we are using weight blend for the each layer. So instead of that, we're going to make a height. So let's go to the first, we'll start from the height, enable that. You can see this, we have the height auto and grass height, and which is very, very useful. Later on we are going to make a displacement also. So for that, okay, for the puddle I don't need, I'm not going to create height for this. We have already taken output height, so I am going to connect this here. Just connect at this height, dirt height. See this, now we have created the switch. This is, we have to connect the height also. So for this we have to set up the separate switch for the height. So we're going to duplicate the same switch with the same name. Take the height into 2 and false, and connect into the height. Since the both name are same, if you enable, both will be activated. So that's good. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So here, a little bit trick. That means we have to connect the height auto. So we are going to use linear interpolation to get this height information. If I press L and you see this, we are not taking this. Control D, take this height to this. We are using the same name. Okay, this height we're going to connect into the A, and this height we're going to connect into the B. Okay, and for the alpha I'm going to use the same alpha, so I can duplicate, or I can just go to the alpha, connect it, and this I'm going to reroute, named reroute declaration node, auto height. Okay, so right click here. That's all. Now we have created this all the height layers, and then save that. Now what happens if I paint the puddle? So it is compiling the shaders. Now if I paint, and you see this is affecting the height. You see this, we're getting a little bit of height in that, right? You can paint here also. So look at that, this affecting the height. I can go to the, I can paint tile here. I have to reduce the brush size. It's looking good, but at the same time, I want to paint this puddle according to the height. It's painting according to the height already. I want to make more displacement actually. Before that, I just paint some puddle here. So you can reduce the tool strength. You make a smooth and soft. This, see, now we get nice blend will happen, and you can paint over here also with the settings. You can use the brackets, square brackets, to reduce and increase the brush size. This will paint smoothly. Okay, so if you want to see this properly, first I'm going to change the color a little bit. I want to make it darker. Open up the material, so go to puddle, click on this color, change this value. Right now it's 0.04 something, 0.03. Create some dark color, and I have to change the light. That means first I'm going to select the exponential height fog to set 0.5 or 0.3. Okay, so looks good. I want to make something like a little bit of rainy environment. So select the sky atmosphere, change the absorption scale a little bit higher, set this scattering scale to 0. If you increase it, it looks like a more cloudy, rainy type of environment, but I'm not going to use that. I'm going to make it 0, so I can able to see the blue color. If I zoom out, and if we go to this exponential height fog, we can change this height. So this will define the height, how height it's going to blend. So sometimes you have to adjust it, but I'm not going to do that right now. Now you can see it looks much better than before. If you look from very closer, this blend is happening according to the height of this texture, which is very nice. Now I want to enable the displacement for this material. So what do you need to do? First, we have already connected this height, but each one of this material function, for example, grass, so double click, you see the displacement. Probably this will not be available at this first time when you open Unreal Engine. Sometimes it may not be available because you go to the folder. So in folder Explorer, go to the projects, config default engine, and here there is a comment you have to add, or .nonite allow distillation. I will paste in description. You can copy this and paste into inside this under the render settings. Okay, just put this two comments in the last and save it, and you have to restart the engine, then it will be available. This displacement will be available. So take the height which we are getting from this blue channel, take the height and connect into the displacement. For each one of that, say for example rock, you see taking the output and connecting the displacement, and make sure the dirt I think I don't want it. Just you can, if you want, you can take this and connect into this displacement, and tile stone floor to displacement, save it. One, I've already connected. I think that's all. For the snow also, connect if I need it. So once everything's set, we have connected this height into height. Now what you need to do, okay, now what I want to do, select the landscape, go to details, scroll down, there is a nonite option here. Just enable this nonite and build data. This will take some time. All right, now we can see we have enabled the displacement. Looks weird. That's because we have some issue with the shadows and the displacement is too much. So go to material first, select the landscape material, and go down all the way. There is an option you can search displacement. The magnitude is 4. I'm going to set this to 0.6. Okay, now it's compiling the shader. Now we have some issue with the shadow. Actually, it is not looking good. That's because you can go to the direction light, search shadow, cast red ray shadows, which I have to disable it. So now you can see here we don't have the issue with the shadow now. But if I go closer to this, you can see the displacement is happening on the landscape. The tile just really more realistic. It's nice. I like it. I can play from here and check it out. Check this displacement. Still it is a little bit heavy, Have to reduce the displacement magnitude a little bit less. But you notice this. You can see the dirt layer. Looking nice. Even the grass. Okay. And you can check out in the landscape also. Okay, so let's reduce this to 0.4. Be good. So with this settings, if you paint layers, it comes with the displacement. It will update everything, every paint layer with the displacement. Nice. Look at that. It's nice. We have that. You can switch between. Oh, sorry. I have to open this material. Instance. Now I'm going to switch. Tile. It has to compile, definitely, but you notice this looks really nice. Displacement is happening on the tile also. Look at that, right? So useful. You can set up this. All right, now we are going to set up foliage system on the material. So we're going to make a auto-generated foliage system. So to do that, so go to material, go to empty area, type grass, landscape, grass, output. Open that. So for this output, we don't, we don't need to connect this anything else, but we can give input the grass. So for this landscape grass output, we need a grass type. We need a grass type, which you can create inside this. Right click, go to foliage, landscape, grass type. So I'm going to give LGT L underscore land. Give a name, some different name, and you can apply this. Open up this, and you see the grass varieties. You have to add grass varieties by clicking on the plus. You get this. If you open up this index, you can connect any static mesh with this grass. It is not necessary to connect only the grass mesh. So you can, any static mesh can be connected over here. So let's go to content drawer. There is a European hornbeam which is available for free in the marketplace. I'm going to enable this static mesh. First, I'm going to create bushes, something like that, something like this. So let's I want to put this, or maybe this. Click and drag and drop. Save it. I'm not going to change any settings here. Just leave it as it is. This this LGT that I have to connect to this grass output. Just click and drag and drop, or you can search here if you want. And I have to give an input. If I save this, now we have to define the foliage should happen only wherever the grass is there. I don't want any foliage on this area, the rock area. I don't want. But see, you're not getting any foliage. Going to just like this. If I give one constant, hold one and left click. If I give value one, connect that into the grass. This will fill the foliage completely, entire landscape. Okay, so but we have to control. You see that? Pretty good. Okay, that's too much anyway. We have to control this. Should happen only on wherever your grass appears. So I'm going to delete that. It's very simple to define. You can duplicate the same layer. Just select this, Control D, so that I can easily set up. Okay. So first, I want to have only for the grass. So I'm going to type one constant. It should be for the grass. I'm going to type one constant again. This should be 0. Leave it 0 for rock, for dirt, for tile. Okay. Then one more thing I have to do is if I save this, let's see what happens. We don't see anything actually because the auto layer, if I give 1 for the auto layer, this will generate everywhere the auto layer filled except this tiles and dirts, even this puddle area is not going to fill. You see that? Okay. But I have to remove wherever the rock appears. I mean, instead of giving a 1 directly, we can take this alpha. This alpha, I can take it. I want to take only this alpha actually. I don't want the height layer actually. So I'm going to duplicate this. Control C, Control D, just keep this same with all the settings are same. And I can directly connect this. Okay, I can directly connect this for the thing. Now I notice this. But this happens in a inverted actually. Wherever the rock is there you have that because I don't want this 1 minus I. Without 1 minus I take this explicit normal and directly connect this. Look at that. Beautiful. But I want to control this foliage is too much. I have to adjust the scale. Probably I can open up the LGT land. You see the density. I'm going to adjust the scale X, which is defining by minimum and maximum. Minimum, I'm going to give 0.2. And immediately this is updating. You see this, we get the random sized thing, maybe 0.05. I want to make a little bit more, so you get a very small plants, which is nice. I can reduce the intensity also, so let's make 200 to get a bit less foliages. Look at this, it's beautiful. It's nice. Okay. Now, this same LGT land which we have created, we can add multiple grass varieties. Let's add another grass variety. In this one, I'm going to add a tree. European hornbeam, go to static mesh. I want to add this one. You can add anyone, but keep in mind it will become heavy. You see this 400 of trees. I'm going to make this 2. And before adding this, reduce the density, otherwise it may crash. Okay, look at that. And I can see this now. We have the tree generated along the normal direction of the surface. So to avoid, wanted to make the trees should be straight. So inside this, scroll down, there is a align to surface, which you have to switch off that. Now you can see the trees are straight up, which is nice. Then I can adjust the scale minimum and maximum. Usual, I just want to make it small and big so that you see the small trees. And so I want to make 4 or 5, maybe 10. 10 you get more. Do this 5. It's looking nice. All right. Okay. Then I want to add some stones over here in the ground. In that same landscape grass, I can add another. Right here, I want to make this again make it 2. And I have in Megascan assets, scan 3D asset. I'm going to use this. This is available in Pixel Bridge. You can add them. You notice this? I have this stones displays everywhere. This gives even more realism. So I'm going to reduce the scale X to 5. So always I want to have the set should be random. Looking pretty good. You can see here. See that landscape. See, it's quick and easy. But you see the stones there, we are having this. So that you can able to edit them. Sometimes instead of using this material, I can paint from the foliage. I can remove that and I can paint from the foliage. But if you don't want, you can go to the material according to the height. You can edit, but I'm not going to do this now. Okay, I'm going to change the lighting. Look at this. If I play from here, it's so realistic. Okay, and it is having a displacement also. And change the light. Set up this control L. Or make. Okay, and go to actually one issue. See, notice this disappears when I zoom out. Disappears. That's because of the culling. If I go to the landscape grass, let's open up the tree, for example. There is an end cull distance. Increases, and keep in mind it will definitely affect the performance if you are not going to So the entire scene just want to stick with this camera angle. You don't want to increase because it's not going to be visible much. But if you are going to make something huge environment, enable this, increase it. Increase for this also. Let's make 1 0. You get foliages will be everywhere in the scene. Now you can see we have created this, and if you want to leave this light fog setting, if you are happy with that, you can leave it, or else you can go to the exponential height fog, enable this. This will change the light. You can adjust the settings and you get that light soft. I'll make our light soft. Okay. Still, I can make a post-process volume to control the look and feel. Just simply go to visual effects, post-process volume. First, um, infinite, search infinite, enable infinite extent, and go to exposure, change, manual, enable this compensation to 30. Like that. If press G on the keyboard, let's see it looks much better. Then for the look and feel, I like to use this chromatic aberration, little bit 0.5, around 0.5. And I like to use one more setting. If you scroll down, image effects, sharpen. It gives more sharper look. You see, I'm going to make 0.3. Now I can see I have a landscape material, and you can start animating this. Okay. Look at this. Nice. Okay, guys, that's all. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much. See you guys.